Hi, I'm Jay.
And I'm Libby, and this is tea time. Okay, so today's topic is shark attacks. And before we get started, we are going to tell you where we are. We are at our favorite undisclosed Asian restaurant, consuming sushi because we wanted to really know how the shark feels.
Well,
So raw fish seemed like the best way to experience that.
we are eating what the sharks are eating. So, we're sharks today.
Basically. So, random topic, right? But there's a reason for this topic, and Jan is going to.
I have had a recent experience that has caused me to think about sharks a lot. So, a couple days ago, I was out swimming in the ocean with some friends, and I usually don't go out very far. However, they persuaded me to go out with them after much coaxing. So, swimming out, swimming. We're out, getting there. And all of a sudden, I kicked something, like, really hard, because I'm not the most graceful swimmer. I kind of look like a dying cat. However, so I think, oh gosh, maybe that was somebody's leg. But the person I was with, they were way too far away for them to be the leg. So I'm like, okay, start panicking. I'm gonna swim back in. So I swim back in, and 2 seconds later, the other guy I was with too swims in and goes, oh my gosh, you just kicked a shark.
4-foot sand shark.
So that shark is somewhere out in the water, blue balling it. So I kicked the crap out of that shark.
You're like, she sends me this text message and she's like freaking out. She's like, it's a picture of her mutilated foot. She's like, oh my gosh, I kicked a shark. And I'm thinking,
My foot was really fat.
there's some poor shark out there who's like, oh my gosh, I was assaulted by a human. And he's like, I'm scared to go to the beach now. Anyways, so we thought, since this occurrence happened, that we would talk a little bit about sharks and the statistics and information. So before we get to this, how about we talk about
This
the
is
history of
the
sharks on New Jersey's coast.
72nd anniversary.
70.
77.
77.
Well,
We can't count. Math's not our specialty.
Anyways, the 77th anniversary of actually one of the largest shark attacks ever. Shut the hell up.
Oh my god.
So, back in World War II, there was one of our boats was out, and
A sub
yeah,
in the water.
it was one of our boats,
Oh,
and
it
it
was a
was
boat.
hit by a
Sailed.
sub. It was hit by a sub.
Torpedo.
And-
Torpedo.
For the love of God, people! Peanut gallery over here.
We have.
Okay, anyways,
Okay.
so they were out in the water, they end up getting hit, and their ship goes down. And there was like 900 sailors on the ship or something. Well, it was in heavily shark-infested waters. By the end of the time that they were in there,
when they got rescued.
300 were left. So
Meaning-
basically, it was a freaking shark bloodbath. Those men in the gray suits had their way with those sailors. And it was bloody.
I think that they were brainwashed by the Nazis.
Wait.
Hence the gray suits.
Yes.
Hitler.
And I bet you this is how those sharks swam.
They probably had little mustaches too. I wonder. Anyway, so interestingly enough, there was some pretty cool occurrences. Well, I wouldn't say cool. There was a lot of shark attacks off of New Jersey's coast. When was that? 19.
I think it was 1916 actually.
And of course,
So.
as you know, New Jersey, us being the Jersey coast, it's, a lot of our industry has to do with tourism and the beaches.
Right.
And it was so bad, especially since there was a polio epidemic at the time, and people, I think, were going to the beach to,
Right. They needed the sunshine. Yeah. Try to clear
heal
up
their
everything.
bodies. And perhaps polio-infested bodies taste better than healthy bodies. I don't know, but the sharks were just like killing all these people. So they actually sent out the Navy and started shooting these sharks.
There was just an overabundance of sharks.
Yeah, they didn't, and so it actually inspired the famous movie
Jaws. And Jaws in the movie was in New England, but however, actually really did occur in Jersey.
Yeah.
And it was a shark that ended up like, it was like for 12 days, it was just like
killed like 4 people,
mauling people, like killing people.
Fresh water, I think.
Right,
or something.
actually ended up getting in fresh water, and so that's when they started killing the sharks because there was an overabundance of them. And it's really ironic because like just that year they had said that sharks weren't dangerous in the United States. Like,
so obviously that's not true. And since it's not true, we decided to give you some tips on ways to avoid being attacked and eaten.
Well, we should tell you also what are the statistics.
Yes,
based upon
this
the last
goes along
decade.
with the tips.
Yeah.
So where you should and shouldn't be in the water, surfing,
swimming, or just to be careful.
Yeah. So in the past, what is this? 11 years. There have been 75, way more than that, 807 in the world total shark attacks.
That have been fatal.
Yeah.
So they've been dead.
And last year there were 75 total attacks. 12 were fatal and 63 were non-fatal. Because it actually so happens that sharks don't really like humans, or so they say.
No. They taste first. They do a little bite. It's called the taste tester. So I take a little nibble of this really attractive arm right here. It's the second bite that's deadly. But usually they don't like the taste of humans. However, sharks can smell blood up to 3 miles away from where the blood is coming from. So another secondary shark could come along and take another bite. So that's why
taste testing.
One arm gone, the other arm gone,
feet floating everywhere.
Yes. So that's where the trouble comes. But sharks, they actually have really cool jaws where they can overextend the jaw. They actually drop the jaw. That's how they get that massive bite. They jump out of the water and go.
And their teeth also always grow back.
They're actually really beautifully made, really awesomely created. But
fall out, they grow back too.
Right.
So they have
it's
like
a
an
continual
supply.
cycle. Like our hair keeps growing. Well, their teeth are like bendable,
I
so
want
they
carrots.
just when they go down, they kind of like fall out.
Okay.
And, like,
So, anyways, places you shouldn't go if you wanna.
Florida. Be careful. All you Floridians, snowbirds. Well, don't worry about you snowbirds because sharks probably run away because you're so flabby.
Too tough for them. Australia, South Africa, Hawaii,
Yes,
California. This was interesting. I wasn't expecting this, but the Carolinas actually. And Jan thought this was interesting because she actually went to school in North Carolina, South Carolina, one of them. And her take on it was that probably the reason why.
I think that so many people get bitten by sharks in South Carolina and North Carolina is because they're just like, they see the shark and this is what they say, oh my gosh, it's shark. Let me get out of the water. 10 minutes later, I'm still getting out of the water. Wait, there's some fried chicken.
And the shark's like, these are the best tasting people ever. They're like fried.
Well, this is the theory. Would you rather have a big, fat, juicy, fried chicken person or a lean, sushi-eating
northerner?
Let me tell you, I take the fat.
I feel like we're going to get reviews that we're being prejudiced towards southerners.
No, we're not. We do. I have a special place in my heart for them. However, let's talk about people who are a little bit overweight. When you're swimming, this is my theory. Take somebody who's large, big mama, big papa, because they look more like seals than you. So they'll get eaten first. You'll have time to swim away.
It's like that whole, like, if you're in the woods and you're being chased by a bear, trip the person running next to you. So, anyways, our tips are to
be careful going to Bahamas, Brazil.
Don't swim at night.
Don't swim at night. Don't wear jewelry. Shiny
They
things.
like the shiny.
Yeah.
Also, if you do see a shark and you're not close enough to the shore to get out of the water immediately, don't frantically flail and draw attention to yourself. That will actually probably be worse for you
Right.
than
They'll be
if
drawn
you try to
to you.
remain calm. They'll
They
smell
can
the
sense it,
fear.
yeah.
They have really great sensory glands. So yeah, that's our tips, and all you surfers, swimmers, yeah, you guys be safe out there, and